Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming back with another live stream. As you enter the chat, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up on your way in. We got some celebrity news to cover. And you know what? I'm going to be quite active today. There's quite a few stories that I would like to cover. And you know how we do it. Anytime we cover any celebrity news, there has to be a learning experience. And this particular show is no different. And I don't know what's going on up in Hollywood. I don't know what's going on up in Miami. I don't know what's going on in those circles. I don't know what's going on with these quote unquote famous people, right? But they wilding. There's so many things happening all at once. Y'all gonna have to turn those post notification bell on today. Y'all have to turn them bells on. I got quite a few stories to cover. And all of them have a learning experience to be gained. And y'all know how we doing this here channel. We cross-reference everything using the scriptures. Everything over here is live and unscripted. And we got to get into it. So apparently a few days back, Dwyane Wade gets on a show. And let me tell you the name of the show. The show was called, he was on an actual YouTube channel. Actually, I don't know what show this was. So let's just... Oh, I Am Athlete. That's what it was. It was on I Am Athlete. All right. He was on I Am Athlete and he was doing a sit down with the host. And he just came out of nowhere and claims that he used to wear dresses and a man was putting on heels, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Dwyane Wade. I'm going to actually go ahead and share that source with you all so I can react, chime in with my sentiments. And I want people to understand the validity of this conversation we're about to have. See, there's a whole entire generation of young men who are being raised to be confused. And not too many people are speaking against the agenda, but I find it more than necessary, especially when you're living in a time where there's a lot of single mother households. And these young men are being led astray. And they're basically following their idols. Dwyane Wade, we're talking about a gentleman who got a mean crossover, a mean fadeaway, a mean jump shot, an all-star. We're talking about a future Hall of Famer, an NBA champion, and he seems to be confused on the role of a male and the role of a female, right? And that's very detrimental to the youth coming up. And we need brothers to really speak up, speak out, and speak against certain agendas that are going against the impressionable minds. Whatever an adult lifestyle is, you know, that's on you. But what about those who have not gained the right to even choose, the innocent? What about those who haven't even made a decision on who they are, right? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and share this source. Everybody thumb the video up. Everybody thumb the video up. All right, let's get it. Dwyane Wade.
City of Chicago, in the hood, you're told, growing up in the inner city of Chicago, in the hood, you're told that boys do this. Right. Boys play football, boys play basketball, boys play baseball, boys date girls, whatever the case may be.
Wow. So you were only taught that in the hood. So only in the hood of Chicago. So let me get this clear. Only in the hood of Chicago, people are being taught that boys do this, boys do that, girls do this, and girls do that. Well, that seems to be a real issue. And a lot of people, they like to call brothers in the truth Bible thumpers. They like to say that we overly religious and we always condemning someone. Well, if you don't draw the line and put the rules and regulations in place, look what you have here in this world. When you don't have a voice of reason, all gender roles are skewed all across the board. That should have been something he was taught within his household, what boys do. And notice he said boys deal with girls or whatever. Yes, brother, that science tells you that. Nature tells you that. Matter of fact, God Almighty tells you that. Deuteronomy 22:5 says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garments. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. All who do so, according to the creator of this colossal universe that we living in, all who cross-dress are an abomination unto the Lord. Right? That's the Bible. Anyway, let's continue.
You're told that boys do this. Boys play football, boys play basketball, boys play baseball, boys date girls, whatever the case may be. You're told this is what you do, right? So I'm no different. I'm raised that way. I'm in the locker room. I say all the things that everyone is saying. I'm not sitting up here like I have never done or said.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen.
This nigga gay. This nigga gay.
Ain't no way, bro. How did you just jump from the locker room to you? Yo, there's something going on here, bro. Why project your confusion on your child? Like there's people who battle with certain spirits. There's people who battle with certain spirits, but why project that on the innocent? Go get some deliverance, brother, because I can clearly hear the confusion in this man. There's confusion going on. Let's continue here.
I say all the things that everyone is saying. I'm not sitting up here like I have never done or said anything, right, when it comes against the opposite sex. Because
how are all of these men, these supposed to be mighty men, warriors, just sitting here agreeing with what this brother is saying? I don't get it. What's going on with these? What's going on with these people nowadays? What's going on with our brothers, man?
I was ignorant. I didn't understand. Right. When it hit my doorstep at 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other, right? And the reason we looked at each other is because of this, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I've tried.
Yo, what? Hold on.
Just, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first,
yo, where was your father? Where was this man's father? Now you see why young men need fathers within the household. Do you see the importance of having a father there? I'm guessing the father wasn't in the picture. This man talking about how he used to walk around with heels and dresses on. He was putting on his sister's clothes, ladies and gentlemen. And he's a grown-ass man right now. And still, he's defending his behavior that he did as a child. This is why we need the scriptures. This is why we need the Holy Bible. Man, the Bible says, listen, knowing this, and this is in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers. So when we speak of the law, anytime that we putting the law out there and you hear brothers preaching the law, going into the gospel, going into the Old Testament, the law is for who? Lawless, disobedient, reviling, rebellious people. And this is why the Christian church can't get a hold on what sin is. They can't tell you what sin is. The reason why we can tell you what sin is because we know that according to the Bible, the transgression of the law is sin. So the law is for these people. The law is for these people. Everybody battle with the flesh. Everybody got things that they deal with on a personal level, whatever it is it may be. But for those who condone their behavior and try to justify their behavior, not only that, spread their behaviors into the entire world, that's when you become reprobated. This law is for you. And you know what? You'll be judged according to the law. It's just only a matter of time. You'll be judged according to the law. It's only a matter of time. See, God's people, we don't keep every single law all the time, but we got grace because we understand that the law is in our hearts. We understand that we got to keep his commandments. We work to keep his commandments. Listen, these people up in them Hollywood Hills, these people up in those circles, he's not in Hollywood, he's in Miami. But anyway, these people in those certain circles, you know, the eyes wide shut circles. You know, those kind of circles. These particular people, they're lawless. The law is going to condemn them one day. They're disobedient. These people operate in freakism. They go against nature. They go against perversion. Everything they do is to go against the Bible. The God of all gods is their enemy. They serve the Baphomet. They believe Satan is a light bearer. They believe Satan is holy and virtuous and light, and Satan is just all loving and not judgmental. And any little nasty little fetish that they got, Satan approves of it. This is why they don't want to turn to the Most High. They are lovers of sin. But that same law that they avoid is going to condemn them one day. Let's get it.
So I said to myself, oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did. And then
that's what you said to yourself as a father. As a grown man that went to the NBA, posterizing people, slam dunking on people, yanking people out of their sneaks, being in locker rooms, being one of the most masculine NBA players, right? You seen your son doing something you did in which, according to the Bible, you were in error. You obviously got over that because you became a man. You seen that same behavior in your son. But let me get this right. Instead of nipping that in the bud, instead of correcting your son, you nourish the behavior. So let me get this right. You wanted your son, allegedly, to be the person that you couldn't be. The person you couldn't be, which goes to show, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, that you've been hiding all along, bro. That all along, while you on that basketball court, while you up in them locker rooms, you feel pretty, oh so pretty, oh so pretty and witty, and man, what?
This nigga gay. This nigga gay.
Hey, yo, ain't no way. So you gonna let your son live that life, and you knew it was in you. You knew you had a little sugar with off up in your tank. You had a little sugar with off up in your tank. But you thought it would be okay if your son lived like that instead of nipping it in the bud, right? Right. So, look, peep game. There's a lot of people who are living vicariously through their children. Somebody said you got to hit that one more time. Oh, man.
This nigga gay. This nigga gay.
Man, come on, bro. Dwyane Wade.
Kept going further and further. And then me and my wife had to look at each other and say, well, what if? And at that moment, everything that I was taught went out the window because now I'm a parent. And my sole job and my sole responsibility is to make sure that this kid grow up knowing that it's supported and is loved by his father and the other parent, right? That's my only job. And so when it came down to Zion,
I think people have a real misconception on what love is. Love is protecting your child from the lake of fire. That's love. Romans chapter 1, verse 27. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burn in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of the error which was meet. Now, here's the crazy part. Your son was in error for being effeminate. And here's the thing. Over Easter break, over Easter holiday, the pagan festival day, you had his son dealing with a transgendered boy, which means he was dealing with a female. So what we have here is something is really wrong. Something is off kilter here. You raised this young man, you nourished a bad behavior, and the young man possibly still likes the opposite sex. Same thing with Dwyane Wade. I don't want to jump out the window and say he's playing for the other side. That's why I let the sound effect do it. But let's make this clear. You nourish bad behavior, and now you're having an effect on a whole lot of young men. Yeah, the man is confused, bro. Yep. Somebody said, yes, love is correction and direction. Absolutely. And that's what's going on up in these hills, man. These people they switch hitting. They switch hitting. Gabrielle too. I done heard many stories of some known people, some real OGs, some real reputable figures that I know personally that I've heard from. And I'm gonna still say allegedly that Gabrielle Union has gotten drunk several times and try to sleep with a whole lot of brothers. Like I heard she really is a loose cannon. Let's just put it that way. And I've heard that from a lot of individuals that she's just a loose cannon out here. And if this man is sitting here talking about how he used to wear dresses and heels, maybe she not feeling like she with a man, bro. Maybe she out there trying to find some masculinity because Lord knows what they got going on in their bedroom, bro. Lord knows what he's allowing to happen, what type of access she's getting with this brother. Crazy stuff out here, bro.
At 3 years old, I looked at it and said, okay, D, I looked in the mirror. And now, not only did I look in the mirror, when I went in the locker room, I started changing the way I talked. I started changing how I listen to things, and I started challenging people in a different way. Once I started to ask questions to my white friends, because I've never been, at that time, no one is in the NBA or play basketball has never been openly gay.
Right.
I've never had a conversation with
Even
What?
in the locker room.
openly in our locker room. So I
Hold on. Wait, what?
This nigga gay. This nigga gay. This nigga gay.
No, man. No. Yeah, notice he said openly. So we know that it goes on a lot within them locker rooms. They just not open about it, bro. They just not open about it. Yo, now we understand what's going on up in their household. Yeah, we seen a lot of. I mean, what is it with these NBA players like wearing these damn like suspicious garments that they be putting on? It's crazy. Yeah, that's a good question. Did he just admit? Did he just admit to what it is he's into? How many of y'all by show of ones took that as an admission? See, you gotta tread the fence and be tactful with how you cover these stories, because if he just admitted, I don't want no war with those letter people. I'm just saying it sounded like a mission, and I'm not attacking this brother. The whole issue that I'm having with this, everybody thinking that, hey, to let the chat speak. What I'm getting from this is there's an agenda against our melanated men. It seems like every time one of these people state claim to be in a certain way, they get a lot of media attention. They begin to get, certain tours, certain advances. They get their name in headlines. Like, what message is that setting for our young men? The only way to let your light shine is to put on a dress. The only way to actually show your validity in this here world is to put on a skirt or some heels, or come out as being a certain way. Like, what's going on here? crazy, bro.
Never. I was ignorant when it comes to this space. So my child.
What spaces you in from? So now understand and looking at all the brothers in the room. Just look at these brothers in the room. I'm gonna play this straight through.
You're told
in
that
this
boys
space.
do this. Boys play football.
Wow.
Boys play.
Everybody in that room, they look like athletes that play on the other side, bro.
Basketball. Boys play baseball. Boys date girls. Whatever the case may be. You're told this is what you do, right? So I'm no different. I'm raised that way. I'm in the locker room. I say all the things that everyone is saying. I'm not sitting up here like I have never done or said anything, right, when it comes against the opposite sex, because I was ignorant. I didn't understand. Right. So when it hit my doorstep at 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other, right, and the reason we looked at each other is because of this. You know, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first, I said to myself, "Oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did." And then it kept going further and further. And then me and my wife had to look at each other and say, well, what if? And at that moment, everything that I was taught went out the window, because now I'm a parent. And my sole job and my sole responsibility is to make sure that this kid grow up knowing that it's supported and is loved by his father and the other parent, right? That's my only job.
Yo, that's not love right there. Condoning behaviors that you are supposed to have conquered as a man is not love. You have somebody say LeBron and Chris Paul really close with him, makes you wonder. Oh, yeah. It does, don't it? Y'all got to understand there's a lot of rituals that's going on right now against the children of Israel, against God's people. It's a lot of rituals going on. Let's continue.
Job. And so when it came down to Zion, at 3 years old, I looked at it and said, okay, D, I looked in the mirror. And now, not only did I look in the mirror, when I went in the locker room, I started changing the way I talked.
He looked in the mirror. He started changing the way he talked. For what reason? Let's get it.
Changing how I listen to things. And I started challenging people in a different way. Once I started to ask questions to my white friends, because I've never been.
He said he started to ask questions to his white friends. He started to ask questions to his white friends, which goes to prove my talking point many, many times when I said our people, especially melanated men, are the last ones on a totem pole to accept alternative lifestyles, which makes you wonder why we're being used as the Trojan horse on media. Why are we being used on Front Street? You know why he had to go to white friends to talk about that? Because melanated men don't want to hear nothing like this. As a whole, we're not with this. He had to go to people who are accepting and approval of that lifestyle. And I'm not here to sow discord or promote any race baiting, but it's clear and it's evident that we are so-called the minority within this land. Not many of our men identify with being part of that letter group. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the statistics, we would be the last group of people who accept it, but they will also try to use us to spearhead this movement. So he had to go, he couldn't go to no brothers. He couldn't go to no group of brothers and ask, yo, you know, hey, imagine this, brothers. Imagine Dwyane Wade coming to a group of brothers in the hood of Chicago, like, yeah, man, my son Zion was just born, man. He just turned 3, man. Yeah, you know what? He walked up in the room. He had on, he had on a little tiara. You know what I mean? My little man had on he had the little dress set up. You know, he had the little princess dress on. And I said, man, I want to challenge you, brothers. I want to challenge you, brothers. You strong melanated men, and he's an athlete. I want to challenge your brothers' reception of this. What would you brothers do? I can assure you, you weren't going to get the answer you was looking for within our community. You were not going to get the answers you were looking for. You had to go to the other nations to get what you were looking for. The same people who was paying you, allegedly, to get on here and grandstand and use your son and promote these ideologies. Look, they trying to keep my chat stuck at 666. Would you look at that? It's been on 666 for minutes. Y'all, everybody thumb the video up. Everybody thumb this video up.
And at that time, no one is in the NBA or play basketball has never been openly gay.
Right.
I've never had a conversation with
even in
anybody
the
that
locker
was
room.
openly in our locker room. So I was ignorant when it comes to this space. So when my child came home at 8 years old, we were living in Chicago at the time after I left Miami, which we talked about. My child came home, and the reason my child didn't come home, it was an assignment that was done at school. An assignment at school would say, tell me about yourself. And this was the time where Zaya took the time to say, I'm Black, I'm this, and I'm gay. At the time, Zaya said, I am gay. So the teacher called home. At 8 years old, the teacher called home and
Now,
said,
how at 8 years old, whether or not a person know if they gay or not? Am I in the alternative universe right now? At 8 years old, you worried about playing with action figures. At 8 years old, you eating graham crackers and drinking juice. At 8 years old, you ready for recess. At 8 years old, you want to run around with your friends. At 8 years old, you want to ride your bicycle. At 8 years old, you have no sexuality at 8 years old. So something must be extremely wrong in the Wade household for an 8-year-old child to say that they're gay. Can somebody say groomers? What has happened to that young man within that household?
Said, hey, I just want you guys to know we post these all over the school, but we didn't want to post this if you guys and blah, 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 right? So we sat down with the teacher and talked about the teacher at that time was a gay female.
Okay.
Gave Dwyane the confidence.
That's a blessing.
Wow.
To be able.
Exactly what I've been speaking, my same talking points. Every talking point I've been making about your teacher having an influence on you if they are part of that agenda. If your teacher is a part of that letter group, that culture, it is going to influence your children. This is the reason why I keep speaking about homeschooling. This is the reason why I keep on talking about this. Because it's only natural for a child to look up to their teacher. They're only going to do what's natural to that their teacher's doing. This is exactly what they want to do. I'm telling you, everything is all an agenda, man. Y'all need to be careful. Raise your own children. Start unschooling them. If you can't unschool in the respective state you live in, use homeschooling. But get them out of there. It's confusing them. Let's continue.
To say those words. So when we sat down and I was in the room.
So the teacher basically influenced your son to come home and say that they were gay. Now, most melanated brothers would have been up at that school with a whole different type of energy. Let's just put it that way. We would have been up at that school, all right. We would have definitely came to the next teacher-parent conference, but we would have had a whole nother energy. Because, see, this here is a child and you're an adult. If you choose that's on you. If you want to go home and, you want to dress up like Roseanne and Ellen DeGeneres and do whatever it is you do, that's on you. If you want to clean carpets for a living, that's on you. But don't try to convince my child that they need to come out and be what you are. That's crazy, man.
Across the way, I prepared myself for 5 years for that moment, not knowing what I was going to do or say. When Zaya sat down with me and was across the way, just like me and you are right now, Ryan, I'm looking at my child. I don't care about anything else. I'm looking at my child and I'm looking at my responsibilities. I'm looking at a child that's crying.
This is some Aleister Crowley, do what thou wilt. Whatever your desire, whatever your lust, whatever your inordinate affection, whatever it is, do it. And that's love according to Satan. Satan gonna love you for whatever you do. The God of Israel ain't. God of Israel got rules and laws that we live by.
That's afraid to tell their father,
Wow.
that they're different than what you probably thought I was, Dad. I don't want to play basketball. I don't even want to be, I'm not a boy. I feel that I am X, Y, and Z, right? I'm looking at my child, scared to tell.
But obviously he ain't gay because your son was dealing with a transgender boy, which was a female. Which means he's beginning to finally experiment with his sexuality at age 14. So since you groom that behavior, you nourish that behavior, you allow certain patterns to go on. Now what you have is a lesbian boy. I don't know. What we going to call him? What is he? A lesbian boy? NASA. Bayah, thank you for the $10 contributions. I commend you, New Breed, for all you do for our people, the children of Israel. I love watching your videos. Keep up what you're doing. Absolutely. Thank you, bro. We're going to be real active today. Real active. There's a lot going on in the celebrity realm we can learn from. Let's finish this video off.
Me. And I feel like I am pretty open at this time.
Yeah, I bet
realized that I needed to do better.
I bet you are.
I need to educate myself.
You hear what he just said? Hold up. He's what? You pretty what? Hold up. What did he say?
Open at this time.
Oh, I bet you are, bro. He said he's pretty open at this time.
This nigga gay. This nigga gay. This nigga gay.
Yeah, I bet you are, Gabrielle Union. You got that. Gabrielle Union got that rod, not staff. Oh no. Oh man, you wrong, Breed. You wrong for that. Yeah, that man shouldn't have played in the NBA. He should have been a wide receiver. You should have been playing in the NBA. Oh, man. Hey, let's continue, bro.
I realized that I needed to do better and I needed to do more and I needed to educate myself. And so what I did is I picked up the phone, I researched as much as I can because I needed to understand. I sat down with my child and I asked questions because I didn't know. Because it's not our job and our responsibility to tell you who you are. You are going to be who you're going to be. It's my job to try to put you in the best positions to help you reach that goal of who you want to be. That's not my job to tell you. You know what I mean? And right now, we experiencing that was growing up and.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're raising your children. Your children are not raising you. Stop trying to live vicariously through your children. It's our job to guide them out of the lake of fire. It's our job to guide them out of a fiery end. Everybody has certain deficiencies. Sometimes the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Even if you have certain bad habits, you know, a lot of the times it's passed down through the generations. It's called sins of the father. The Bible speak of it. But your job as a parent, especially a father who's head of the household, who's lead, your job as a father is to point out those certain indeficiencies, those certain issues that your child may have, that you may have had. Some of us were violent when we were growing up. Some of us didn't know how to behave. Some of us didn't respect adults when we were growing up. And your child take on some of those same curses. It's your job as a father to nip certain things in the bud. If Dwyane Wade, if you were walking around here with heels and dresses on and you seen that in your son, you should have been like, yo, that's not what boys do. Not nourish that behavior. Unless you still got some sugar off in your tank, bro. That would be the only reason why you would allow that. Because if you were disgusted by that behavior, you would not continue to teach your son that it's okay. Right? But anyway, all in all, man, y'all turn that notification bell on. We going live back to back today. So turn the bell on. Make sure you catch the next stream as well. We'll be live in just quite a few minutes, actually. So turn that bell on. I love each and every one of y'all. Shalom and peace.